if you've never been in a universal credit center, it is what the right wing stereotypes communism as. Like, there, and the alternative right is how the right wing deals with this. Because the alternative right, leaving comments like, how do you feel now that your ideology is being proved wrong because right-wingism is being proved right all over the world? No, fuck. This is the fundamental problem with the fucking neoliberal right-wing fucking... And in terms of how much anger I have for the right wing. But I felt this was more important. Because
of reasons. And yet, he's a prominent right-wing guy who is saying that Planned Parenthood isn't so bad any longer. They aren't. They aren't. And I know that there are a lot of right-wingers who watch my videos and they go,
although I do know I will not be an alt-right person, and I know I will not be a right-winger.
I mean, one need only ask a right-winger, so who caused the bank, so who caused the recession, the bankers who...
Because we are right. We have science on our side, but where the right wing are busy creating grand argument ground, he is centre-left, which is to say, he is the most right-wing, left-wing politician.
I hate the right wing. I hate the right wing with every fucking fibre of my goddamn being. And they is gonna be right-wing light, right-wing with less of the bigotry, with less of the utter incompetency, and say in a way that isn't gonna be hashtag milk the rich, you know. I mean, people like the right-wingers come to my channel and they're like, seriously, you're saying...
And so therefore I feel like the alt-right are kind of the right-wing alternative to...
You know, I openly say, yeah, I'm doing purges of any fucking right-winger who shows his head above the parapet and is like, and I will now do
this now, where basically, I'm basically playing whack-a-mole with right-wingers, and it's just like, you are following me, and I see that you...
that the government decided to widen the definition of terrorism to include any right-wing, what? America, tremendously undemocratic place, lots of right-wing bigots, lots of policemen who will do lots and lots... You know, it's a thing that crops up that basically Kihar is kind of on the right wing of the political spectrum, you know, he's quite weak.
Find myself still on. Because I see no right-wing approach to the issue of post-scarcity. And I believe
fucking jobs. The only people who are saying, just get a job, are either right-wingers who are, you know, who've really drunk the thing. The more that my left-wing channel makes money from the right wing, the more that I alienate those who I would seek support from. And unless it's gun ownership, which I have to keep mentioning because it annoys the right-wing Americans so much, because I know that there are a good deal of people who watch my videos who are right-wing, and that's okay.
The fact that if he and others like him who the right wing genuinely likes, and
you want the right people in power. You want the right wing people in power. Okay? You want...
The worst they got was like me ranting about, you know,
right wingers and sort of this post about abortion, but you know.
Stalin, yes, wasn't he a fantastic chap? All those kulaks. The right wing love to twist the left and paint it as monstrous.
Things are gonna get very interesting in a very terrifying way in the next few years if certain members of the right wing are not very careful. That very strongly affect them. These are things that the right wing, the alt-right, really care very deeply about. I'm kind of like about to send a bunch of angry right-wingers to his video, but Many a True Nerd is a Let's Player that I love, because, I mean, apart from anything else, the right wing scream at me, and that doesn't achieve anything. Just screaming starts some sparks spreading across to Europe. And, you know, your right wingers in Britain, they might not be in such. It made me immune to the effects of the right wing fuckers, because it's just like, yeah, you know what, you're not gonna be a fucking patch. And guess what? You know what's another party that claim? You know what's another band of right wingers who claim to be off of the left, below the bottom level of tax. So yes, at this point, you know, even the right wing people would be like, here, which is towards this guy who is calling himself the right wing meme lord. Okay, and happened to be the establishment of the right wing of the Labour Party, and they happen to not like people who are on the left. Wins the Labour leadership election, and the right wing shut the almighty fuck up, or the left wing of the United States of America. But the point is that, like, the right wing of the world aren't doing what they're doing because they're right, and equally vice versa if the right wing were widely popular, but in smaller subsets of different things. Because I don't know who I am at the moment, and people, I mean, right wing douchebags say, well, the problem is that you're too altruistic, and you know, crying out saying, oh man, you've got to elect a right-wing candidate because it's the only valid way, right? Push him now and kill him now, and they're bringing out all these right-wing people trying to crush him and destroy him, and even they're opening up and all these are complicated things. So again, the right-wing, far-right movement distills it down to a very... Well, I genuinely think that the right-wing had bloody better hope that it doesn't fucking end. Everybody runs the same way, where it's just a choice between, you know, the right-wing or the right-wing. If you want to have... the Labour Party it's the Labour Party having infighting with the right wing trying to destroy Jeremy Corbyn and the establishment. And of course, that benefits the right wing establishment. That benefits the idea of neoconservatism. You have this situation of the right wing using, you know, the they want a right-wing party. That's what they decide. But this is the right wing against democracy. Now we are getting into the meat of the video. Now that I know all the right-wingers who really wanted me to do a video, different kinds of ecosystems on planet Earth, I would say that is an issue that is on the right wing as well. Like, there is... do a video ripping into fucking right winger logic, and I fucking happen to give examples of how right wingers speak, and Lord knows
the fucking right wing make sure I keep knowing what they fucking think. I had one
channel does. In that I am kind of saying, alright, right-wingers, you have a problem with me. Fine. But you see, the only way to get into power is to do exactly as the right wing want. They are the no. These
I really, really want the establishment to adapt. I really want the right wing to have some kind of idea for what happened
better than this. And the problem that we have is that we have let the right-wing bigots take control of that. It's okay to like me as a cosmic Jew toy. It's okay to like me because you're a right-wing person and you love to laugh at me being like.
I would still far rather fight for them than, I don't know, some moderate right-wingers. Because, you know, the and left-wing governments that take a turn to the right wing. Essentially, I want to make sure that, I want to kind of rationalize it as though, like, the right wing are just always the pragmatists.
A country run by lefties that is kicking out all the right-wingers. This could...
But anyway, just complete bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit from UKIP and right-wing cucks, just like publicity. All you need to know is I've pissed off the right wing of America, the ultra right wing of America, who are just like rah.
I think we all know that the right wing are stupid, power-hungry gits. I think we all know that and appreciate that.
So predictable. You are so predictable. You aren't right wing or left wing. You are just the opposite. That is all you are.
Do trade with all these other people, and then you're gonna have, you know, the right-wing conservatives. Well, right-wing. You're gonna have the fascist conservatives.
Yes, sorry. And if they do come here, that'll be funny anyway. Have a load of right-wingers spamming a random Minecraft.
It's fucking right-wingers. Because it's right-wingers who fucking beat up Muslims. It's the Islamophobic who lash out at Muslims.
Right. Okay, you have, you know, right-wing views. Extremely offensive. Okay. Can't...
Right wing, you know, the right wing like me, because I clearly don't. But you need
actually so many of the right-wing parties have views that are genuinely toxic and can result in oppression and troll movement happening off to the left. But now Trump's in power and he's actually electing right-wing nationalistic bastards.
God Emperor Trump, populist demagogue of America, uniting the racists of the right wing in America, your leader, a meme kind of person. I am a meme on right wing forums, right? You know, I know what's going on. I have win over the right wing by sort of by almost denying certain elements of equality.
UKIP. At the moment, they are too right-wing. Their immigration policy makes me feel sick, and their environment...
I used to joke that I was preaching to the unconverted by preaching liberal values to the right wing, because the right wing would flock to my...
For the ways in which I am right-wing compared to my peers. But it doesn't matter when we're facing Nazis.
It feels weird to say that, but, you know, I have a very right-wing audience. I have a far-right, alt-right audience.
Done! And you've told them what trigger to press!
like the right wing loves this because I mean it's and yet the fucking right wing of America are pro-life and yet they're also pro-gun, anti. Share my blatantly left-wing propaganda with all of your right-wing friends. Please, it will do us so much good. Because if it only has been some kind of a coup in 4chan or whatever, and you know, like all the right-wingers got together and they've thrown out everybody who's different. The comments that are nice from right-wing bastards. These and the thing is, it's a very difficult situation for me because so and by the way, just so we're clear, that would be the right-wing bigoted men's rights fuckers who would write that kind of shit. I mean, I know the world is very keen on shouting about binaries. I know the right wing is very keen on shouting about binaries, because there are so many. Sorry, I'm mixing. It's not just right wingers. Like left wingers too are like when it comes to women. Oh, but a very simplistic. I like this. I don't like this. Whereas at the same time, you have the right wing, the far right, the alt-right, who are spending. The right wing loves this because, I mean, it might not just be the right wing, but this particular demographic appeal to the right wing. Well, we'll sell our souls to the right wing and be slightly better than the right wing. Woo, Tony Blair. And the fucking. The support of Fox News and the right-wing media. The fucker could actually win. Getting on topic and not ranting the fuck at right-wingers. Sausage fest. I mean, granted, considering that most of my views are right-wingers from 4chan flooding my comments. Like, for the right wingers, anytime you want to shut down any legitimate thought of, you know, but the thing is, it's not just, you know, liberals stamping out right wingers, because, you know, I openly, I of racist right wing bastards because they were literally founded by a bunch of racist right wing bastards. People thought that wanting. And I preach left-wing feminist values to a community that is right-wing. Right? I have this. Of course, we all know that that's not going to fucking stop the right-wingers. They're going to vote for Donald Trump because, well, he's a. So essentially what you have is neo-right-wing, neo-far-right. Okay, and neo-far-rightism is not the fucking way. All the right wing are doing is letting technology and capitalism lead anyone, right? If you are a right-wing person and you won't vote for the Lib Dems or the SNP or Jeremy Corbyn, and so that means right-wingers add me on Steam. And here's the thing, right? When I'm wired in, need a good Labour leader to shake things up. Like, this is a global problem of the right wing violating people's fundamental.
Oh, truly, you know, right wing and violent say these horrible, horrible things. These people who will literally say, no, we will be led by the right wingers again, then I think basically the Labour Party have to win. Genuinely, I don't understand how the right wing can want to waste their lives so much watching stuff that they hate. You know, among the right wingers that, you know, yes, the world is unequal, but you know that's why you once again. Meanwhile, the right-wing people, when you question them about post-scarcity, they stick their fingers in their ears and go, no. But far right can see the left-wing right. The right wing within power can see the left wing is very dangerous when it shifts to the right
because the right wing will always be the most willing to put up and shut up if Donald Trump is elected. What happens is that the right wing idiots realise, oh hey, it turns out that we elected
the leadership election, and that's why he will win. And that is why the right wingers are fucking terrified, and there's all these sorts of coups because
give women a plastic surgery fund or something, and no, right wingers, I'm not seriously suggesting that. No, the right wing of the Labour Party could doom the Labour Party, because the right wing are like, okay, so here's someone who is. What happens if it decides that the right wing are terrorists because, well, they keep defending this mass shooting himself? It's you guys. It's you right wing bigots. It's you racists and sexists, you people who support eugenics in first past the post elections, and that makes the right wing stronger in first past the post elections. But as far as the left wing is concerned,
they'll lead it, because there is no way in hell no right wing fucker is gonna vote for a guy who has mandates. So,
but not because people decided to adopt the homeless as pets. In America, the right wingers loved it. I mean, they've got guns everywhere, and they to silence free speech, because that is essentially the right wing people who performed the coup saying we will. Because I think even from a sort of like, you know, right wing conservatism perspective, like, you respect the few. And since, I suppose, the chances of the right wing embracing socialism to bring down the patriarchy, and so you end up in this position whereby the right wing has within it all the time the potential of right. He might have done some stuff that wasn't as fucked up as the right wing wanted to do, but he
a party that is neither right wing nor left wing, and yet is thoroughly despicable.
That people can have a different wrong perspective. The right wing are just like, no, he's going to be red pilled, any fucking. Or someone who is on the right, and you don't happen to agree with the current right wing political status quo, you have no party tells the right wing supporters a very simplistic narrative, and a very simplistic narrative that is by its personal liberty towards the free market of the right wing memers, right? And if I do that, being the left wing guy preaching to the right wingers, and it's like, that's why people matter. That's why I'm like, not just for the right wing either. I think that for the left wing people, on the plus side, it does mean that maybe some right wingers will fucking read The Guardian now, because Trump, you have a left wing anti-establishment candidate and a right wing anti-establishment candidate. Meanwhile, in Britain, you have the right guy around killing people, and those would be the ultra right wing Americans, who have read the Constitution one too many times. I have been being told by, you know, my very right wing anti-fans and by the right wing media that
media, because they're all, you know, they're all radical right wing biased billionaires.
Like, the left wing will call you a cunt or a twat biscuit. The right wing, the alt-right will of how the economy actually works, because instead the right wing, the Republican Party tells the right wing
supporters.
That's not how fucking negotiations work. That's not how negotiations with right-wingers work. You go in there saying, well, I'm prepared to work with you, and how are you dead? You're moral. You don't agree with our right-wing philosophy, and you're not fucking going out there.
A bit like us wanting, you know, it's a bit like the right wing wanting Liz Kendall to be elected to be, you know, leader of the Labour Party. You're like, oh. And whilst the apocalypse is happening, the right wingers are going to be fucking up the economy, making. I really don't fucking care whether the right wing cunts have their feelings hurt by that. Because you know what? If you had your left wing comes along and it's actually taken over by the right wing and it promptly destroys any left wing opposition. And this comes to the idea of like the safe space. The right wing are very the right wing are very.
So this is fucking amazing to me that the right wing, these people that I have, you know, attacked.
So yeah, I'm gonna get people hating me. I'm gonna get the right wing hate me. That's going to happen.
Corbyn, because if they actually presented themselves as saying we are the right wing of the Labour Party, they might get more support. Right? You can be a conservative. You can be someone who supports. Who is a right winger? You could be someone who is a.
We'll do what the Greens are doing, but we're still right-wing white man bastards. So we're actually gonna be all about big
The
business.
fan base and reputation of the right wing, so that my popularity within them can cause me to have a thing, because I don't want to risk the right wing being kind to me again. Like, no, back to the depths of hell with you.
Here in Britain, all right, you know, our conservatives, our right wing are so much more left wing than
Fucking there, but just a little bit off. Which I think is almost maybe why the right wingers are so disoriented.
the state is there to kind of support people. You know, maybe the right wingers do kind of see that, well, you know,
The nature of the right wing on YouTube is to
starting to cross lines. You know, you've got the press is becoming more and more right wing. The
cuck is used as a term to insult the jokers who are on the right wing but say controversial shit just because it's funny, is make these shitty ass videos. Because at the very least, these shitty ass videos get seen by right wing people and can maybe fucking,
you know, the whole refugee crisis isn't good. Right wingers will have to be blocked, so then it goes back to 690.
You know that Hillary Clinton is a racist. You know that Hillary Clinton genuinely is very right wing. It's not my
his attitudes to be fostered and tried. The whole NRA right wing Bible thumping gun debate.
About the bigger picture here, right? All of you right-wing people who are saying, just get a job, just go to the gym, right?
Who is calling himself the right wing meme lord. Okay. And, you know, I expect that he will have some kind of
had completely broken apart, and they're as is the fucking like the right wing mimics the fucking left wing, because it's not like I am liked by the right wing. It's not like the alt-right do. Old hero who's broken,
You know, he's gone a bit right wing. You know, he's not quite what he used to be. But I have empathy. I realise this is a difficult thing for the right wing to understand. This idea of there are all the light side and the goodness and the greenness, and then the right wing are the Sith and they are evil. They ran on a policy of saying that he was a monkey man and that the right wing shouldn't elect a monkey man. This is actually left wing. So the fact that the right wing beat the left wing isn't gonna prove anything wrong here. That's literally who do very much do the thing of like, yes, we are right wing. Yes, we are, you know, massive businesses, and we don't pay charity and be happy in yourself. You are living on charity, so you must hate yourself. I hate the right wing. I hate the right wing with every fucking. Have to vote for Donald Trump if you want to vote right wing and against the establishment. So what happens then? That happens because I'm not worried about the alt-right. I'm not worried about the right wing, what they think of me. I know what they think of me, and I don't give a genuinely, like, really irate right-wingers going, maybe people would take you seriously if you sung good. Comment deleted that is just, I can't be asked to I can't be asked to reply to your right-wing bullshit. They just will. Well, we must appeal to them, and we must, you know, fight them on the grounds of logic and reason. The right wing don't give a shit about logic and reason. Over taking stuff out of context, I have had the right wing fake stuff to get at me. Why I can't be a right winger? I just don't aspire in the same way that they do. Tolerated here and they'll fuck off or they'll get banned, you know. It will be okay, a bunch of other right wingers will join. You know, you boost up who are doing work on workfare for their fucking benefits, you know. Essentially, the right wingers are like, it's really difficult to get a job. Muslims, because we know it's the Muslims are the ones who are going around raping people, and it's not like the right wing ever try to control women's bodies, or, you know. Is more or less the same, if not actually gradually edge them more and more right wing, but in practice only go with the policies that are. So I kind of, I don't want to, you know, add fuel to the flames of right-wing hatred right now. So in that respect, I'm actually no different to kind of a right-winger reading the Daily Mail going, oh yes. So, I mean, I do think that there are people on the right wing who are not sane. For condition that is called neoliberal right-wing selfishness. Fuck this! Fuck! Don't necessarily, we damn well know they don't. The right wing don't agree with this idea of, you know, well, you know, that. And as a regulated capitalist. So I can understand that there is a perspective of the right wing that is about conservatism, right? And so yeah, the conservatives are going to disagree with that. The right wing people are going to go, oh no, and then you've got with, you know, sort of the Frank Fontaine vision, you've got right wing authoritarianism, and then landscape, because then it would weaken the right wing if they then have to split their votes between the alt-right and the right. Right-wingness, your right-wing's mentality, it fails. Genuinely. It's tanking the economy. Converted by preaching liberal values to the right wing, because the right wing would flock to my channel to hear a person that right-wing people in power. Okay? You want the right-wing idiots in power who think that, you know, stealing from. If the country votes for an extremely right-wing
authoritarian government, then, so be it.
Much actual left-wingism now for any kind of action of right-wing, far-right actions to be tolerated. I mean,
is that they go, when you sort of bring up this subject, something the sort of right-wingers bring up is, well, they
aren't to do with immigration, that aren't to do with xenophobia, but that are to do with right-wingism, that are to do with capitalism.
Wing anti-establishment candidate and the left-wing anti-establishment candidate in the right-wing anti-establishment candidate is like, yeah, something that the left sort of talk about the right-wing a lot on is the hypocrisy of them supposedly being in favour of small
for the various media enterprises to destroy him. And what does the right wing of the Labour Party do?
Pro-left wing, pro-feminism, pro-representation. Do you want to hire some, some right-wing bigoted shithole? Stupid idea. Yet if you would believe the right wing, well, it's the only sensible thing to do.
Bad days for humanity, for British people. And I know that the fucking right wing are gonna be fucking creaming that.
Like, if Britain fairly and democratically elects the right wing, then they can fuck off over to the USA, because fuck it, we're liberal.
Right. Wars in the Middle East. Fuck it, we want oil. Oh, you fucking right wing. If you're not giving me enough blowjobs, I'm gonna
To think about the extrapolation, all these right wing people, and actually fucking left wing people as well, who are like, but there will always be jobs.
Wins it out anyway, because hey, if the right wingers want to take the piss out of them for that, they can have.
Wing parties have gotten in. The alternative right-wing parties have more of a chance to get in because, hey, the fucking Greens became politically people who presented right-wing ideals as left-wing. So, I don't like.
They fucked up the world, right? They screwed up the world. They elected right-wing governments who tore apart.
Equally, don't feel like we should have a system where the right wing have people saying, well, the Green Gobshites deserve what they've got.
It's quite well off. It's quite right-wing. Like children in school would go on packy hunts. We're delightful. My brain is like, well, you see, now you're being too mean to the right wingers. Now you're being too fucking mean to all these nice.
It is just overtly playing up the fact that he's a right-wing bigoted shithead, right? Like, it's the thing. Maybe that's what the right wing likes. They like the complete insanity of Donald Trump. They like the complete insanity of
it's the establishment, and that is actually a vote against right-wing neoliberalism, and that is actually a vote in favour of
are being purged. Now anyone who speaks up is being purged, and now the right-wingers are in charge. We're the top dog bitches. And I mean, it's just fucking stupid. It is just nothing the right-wingers are saying makes any fucking sense.
And of left-wingism gets to have its own special snowflake club, and it means that the right-wingers that they don't like have, so that you can support the rich. That is how this system works. Okay? And, even the right-wingers, even
aren't left anymore, and they clearly will never be right-wing, so of course you're not going to vote for them. Which means you're stuck voting.
People didn't understand before finally a right-wing, far-right channel, far-right podcast basically called, I don't know what I like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Except that I know that I fucking hate the right wing. And it... Because America is a place where any fucking right-wing nutter can get a goddamn gun. Sadly,
Spin this as, oh, well, you're not a right-wing Blairite, so fuck you. But I think that what this is this is actually,
and you know, they're almost mirrors in that you almost have, you know, the right wing anti-establishment candidate and the left wing anti-cast at the moment called Econ Talk, and it's a lot of right wing people, a lot of people I often disagree with. I mean, I'm threat to the peace comes from the right wing, right? Because it is the right-wing newspapers that are stirring up hatred. But I don't think it's going to be right-wing people forever, right? Because apart from anything else, between a bunch of lone right-wing people in a church quietly going about their business, quietly believing what they is called free market capitalism, because it is called anarcho-capitalism, because thicko right-wing people just see the name and go.
now, there's kind of two different forms of right-wing Labour people. There are the right-wing Labour people who believe that you need to. The only reason anybody is countenancing the idea of the right-wing Labour getting in is, well, then they'll be in power and they'll do shit.
Idea in society. Still got conservative right-wingers coming over saying, well, you're not masculine, so therefore your opinion. It's something. Because it's getting the right-wing bastards to do something, to give something back to. Let's be stupid, because the idea that the right wingers can actually be sort of looking at the numbers saying, well, yes, we're going to do it. We don't lose the support of the right wing, because right now we've got a very small majority. Helps left wing values. I count among my friends people who are right wing and who complain about socialists. The right wing, the alt-right trolls, you all
to the Conservatives, right? On the right wing. That way, the Greens can keep chipping away at Labour, and the Conservatives.
Awesome. I mean, I will purge right wingers. It's utterly left wing propaganda. I'm utterly ashamed. They're asking for payment details because, boy, all you sicko right wingers who are like, I hate you, I want to destroy you. I will see a lot of hatred on the left and on the right. Fucking right wingers in America are angry that an actor who Pope. I'm essentially saying, well, he's not as fucking right wing as the other candidates. You know, he does seem genuinely to be a good guy. Then it's a problem that even the right wing, even the alt-right, even the very... It just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. It's not about left wing or right wing. It is not about morality. It is about love crooning along fuck the fucking right wingers. And I decided, balls to it, this could do with being a bloody song.
When I managed to make that right wing guy sort of block me, just like, okay, you fucking give it a go. Really, now the right wing media has really turned it into an issue of immigration. Okay, and
having a go at the right wing for thinking naively that, you know, if they have this sort of very quickly, if we see the precedent being set in America, that, okay, the right wingers are going to use violence to achieve. Muslims ain't the fucking problem. fucking right-wingers. Because it's right-wingers who fucking...
I'd be dead. Right?
I know that within the right-wing movement, within the conservative, I want. This is literally what the right-wingers want. You know, they're like, hey, we're gonna press our jackboot down. If they are like, oh, well, you know, the right-wingers will win. Hello? You've got the reformed liberal Democrats, you've got the Green Party. The safe space. The right wing are very antagonistic against the idea of the safe space. How dare you have the safe space? Finally have a guy elected to lead the Labour Party, and the right wing aren't happy about it. And they ain't gonna give up. Make jokes. Who I know happen to be right wing, who I know happen to disagree with me politically, who I know are of complex interrelated things into, well, the autistic lefty said that all right-wing people are simple. I mean, the Labour Party saying, well, the right wing won. No, they didn't. Look at the fucking voting percentages. Hitler got. That's what democracy decides. That's what democracy decides. Whereas the right wing are utterly fucking terrified of the fact that, you know, some moderate right wingers, because, you know, the moderate right wingers might be thought about this idea that there are, you know, right-wingers, alt-right people, you know, the kind of idiots from 4chan who will say, ah, you're a fucking cockles, right? Labour Party, and there is a successful purge of the right-wingers, but the Labour Party is still strong, and they, you know, align with the Green Party.
It's quite interesting at the moment, because I'm proving to be quite popular with the right wing, because they're all flocking to
about the Parliamentary Labour Party, the establishment right wing who happen to support Owen Smith. That's all the Conservatives and the fucking right wingers and UKIPs are saying. They're saying greedy money, me, I want money for me. You know, I mean, I've come out like as a Eurosceptic, right? And indeed, right, I've got all these right wingers watching my channel. To a certain extent, trigger warnings. I think the reason the right wing has kind of absolutely globbed onto that is because you've given them a gun. The thing is, I can understand why right-wing people don't want him winning. I can understand why. I'm the boogeyman of the right wing. I like this. I like that I make the right wing scared. That's quite nice. In this fucking video goes goddamn viral with 4chaners and right wingers saying, Alex Jahans is fucking e-bagging, fucking disgusting.
Actually, we will retreat from the political scene and we will focus on ourselves. And now on the right wing, you've got this whole, yes, and we should like, maybe that's it, you know. But, I mean, that's probably just the equivalent of a right winger saying, well, they fought dirty. You know, those are very much some right-wingers who fought fucking dirty. You know, I've been there and I've seen the right-wingers insidiously take over because they play dirty. Because they play the... Be able to find a way to convince the right wing of this. The propaganda of the NRA too. They're buying into the propaganda of the right wing too. So they believe that they need a gun for their own. There's no coup, but there doesn't need to be a coup because the right wingers within the party have restructured everything to the point where radical leftists who are freaking the fuck out of the right wing people, going, ah no, Sarita. And so kind of fuel to the flames of right-wing hatred right now. I want the right wing to go the fuck back to sleep and let us... It's not just followed by the alt-right. I know that this channel is not just followed by the right wing. I know that the fucking Conservative Party, the fucking right wing, the fucking
genocidal, xenophobic megalomaniacs known as the ISIS is not fucking Islam. The problem that America faces is the Christian right wing. Is the ridiculous
if we give him the opportunity to lead a right-wing party that is basically being carte blanche to do whatever is necessary to win over conservatives.
Left of the spectrum as opposed to the right is because I've long since gave up on the right wing. Because the right wing are bullies and arseholes and they leave people to die.
But still, they will all agree, more or less, to stop the right-wing fuckers. And that's the thing, right? Like, so many different survivalists and anti-left people and right-wing and far-right lunatics who have got tons of guns and reason before honor. You know, pragmatism before anything else. So, the right-wing are generally a very...
They will sort out fucking climate change. They can be as right-wing as they need to be. They can be as centre ground as they need to be. Don't like working anymore. You know, it's very much this, you know, modern right-wing attitude of poor people.
Currently, we have a neoliberal right-winger in power, and it could be replaced with a genuinely cunty right-winger.
Emigrate to one country, and essentially we force out all the right wing. We essentially anyone who is a horrible person. And he happened to say one quote, which the right wing love, they absolutely love, which is that here's the thing. You've hung on to this ideology too far. Right-wingness, your right-wing's mentality. No! And this is what the right-wingers are like. But this is the system that works. We like this system. Of a massive army. If you can convince your right-wing, you know, government to have a massive... The left-wing and the right-wing want to destroy right-wing parties, and the left-wing and the right-wing both want to propagate left-wing parties. A turn towards the left by the people, and how the right-wing, the far right, are exploiting. It is not a good situation, and when I see right-wingers cackling and laughing because look at the left-winger who's on... Of course, something that I am fundamentally opposed to. The right-wing are typified by nationalism, conservatism, fiscal conservatism, how fucking horrible the right-wing, establishment upper class Brits are, and not left wing. I'm not. I'm regulated. Like, you can be a liberal and right wing very easily.
Hey, we need to actually elect people who aren't fucking neoliberal fuckers. And in the forums of the right wing, you end up.
But I know that I have a very right-wing audience, which I like. I genuinely like that because let's face it, and I know that the right wing don't necessarily agree with it. Well, and the stories of these right-wing media corporations have written these stories, and the public hates you. Fucking group. Another group, another bunch of right-wingers to piss the fuck off. And someone else who's from Brazil, who's quite right-wing and a bit like... Well, I'm never sure if he's playing devil's advocate or trolling the general reprobates of the world. Nigel Farage, UKIP, the right wing of Britain. The bigoted fuckwit who wants to destroy the world versus the right-wing bigoted fuckwit who wants to destroy the world. who has been railing against the right-wing Labour people. Me, who has been, you know, calling people out for being, we will take him down, how dare he? And it's like, for God's sake, shut up, you fucking right-wing pricks. Why the fuck do you think anybody would goddamn vote for you? Until, well, you essentially have the party of the right-wingers and the party of the even more right-wingers. Like that red, and, you know, call themselves a socialist so long as they are saying enough right-wing things that you're okay with them, you know, invading other countries. Like, I am looking into the world of, like, you know, of left-wing people or right-wing people. Tell me what you think about unemployment. It is not a case of left-wing or right-wing or morality. It is a case of logic. It is a case of cold, hard rationality that you...
But until that day happens, all that the right wing are doing is being toxic. Britain is seen as far too right wing, and as essentially like the city, you know, the
lot of offshoot parties that can never actually have enough political say, but can weaken the power of the right wing in government. Is that I know your mentality. I know that there are going to be fucking right-wing dickheads saying, well, I watched your... No, it's the fucking right-wingers saying that, oh, I have low testosterone, so that explains why I disagree with them. Like, to a certain extent, at least when some right-wing fucker messages me, uniter of the racist of the right wing in America, God, Emperor Donald Trump, your leader, ladies and gentlemen, your president, armed people who have seized control of government property in their right wing, and, you know, they're a threat to, you know, the law of the land. It makes sense to destroy the right wing as well, to destroy neoconservatism. And that's why I created the Facebook fan page, to be a quarantine for the right-wingers. Well, I feel like people, like right-wingers, well, it's not even right-wingers, it's just fucking bag. And if you want, all these right-wingers who are saying, I need to suck his ear,
and people seem to have forgotten that. Odd that the right wing have forgotten that bankers caused the austerity and
again, the fucking right wing just stick their fingers in their fucking ears and sit in their fucking... Shuts down the right wing parties, and of course that benefits the right wing establishment. That benefits...
And it's the only right wing party that you can reasonably vote for. Except Cameron's party
on the left who need to be able to talk to the right wing and make them see sense. I don't know. But let's face it, it wouldn't have happened because the right wingers want more right wing. We've got slightly different ideas of what the left wing and the right wing are. And for me, I sort of see them polarized as, you know, these people started surging. I started getting right-wingers surging on Twitter. You're saying, well, we could just ignore what the people have voted for and just decide that the right wing of the Labour Party are the true, where the butchest of straight, cis, you know, right-wing men can sort of where you know, where what we have now, because of the right-wingers' attitude of just fucking get a job, mate. Okay, and yes, I'm doing approved comments because I know right-wingers will like to bash their heads against a brick wall going, they even the sort of the right-wing commentators will say, well, she fucked that up, didn't she? Right? Because, funnily enough, the undemocratic right-wing bastards are undemocratic. But, you know, this is why I support Jeremy Corbyn. You may already know the results by the time you watch this, right? But the right wing have this attitude of supreme arrogance. Jeremy Corbyn had been elected by a massive mandate, and yes, the right wing were being annoying shitheads, but it was gonna be okay. And hound you and hound you. No, that's what the right wing does. That's what you guys do. You're like, you're censoring us. No, it's not. It's called facts and reason, my friends. Facts and reason. Something the right wing distinctly lacks. How can we present the poor in a way that the right wing will go, bah! Humbug at? Okay. Coloured people, Muslim people, people who know Andrew Clark Kehar, who is the right-wing guy, kind of talking about these different issues in a way that I will block anyone who follows my stuff and is vaguely right-wing. Like, if I see a, you know, hashtag MAGA, make fun of me, and so, you know, in my head, the overlap between, you know, right-wing arsehole and, you know, misogynistic woman who thinks that Jeremy Corbyn is going to doom the Labour Party. No, the right wing of the Labour Party could doom the Labour Party.
Funnily enough, considering all the furore that's happened on how the right-wing upper-class people who, like, have all the money,
In my view, it is worth it in terms of utilitarian morality to drive the right wing off by boring them with predictable. He's kind of the nice conservative, you know. He's the nice right wing bigot, you know. Like why some people are desperate to believe that the right wingers are right. Are desperate to believe that, hey, to widen the definition to include any extreme right-wing Christian Orthodox group of individuals who believed in more, who turn around and actually like me, the more that my channel gets recommended to right-wingers, the more that it gets right-wing hatred. How do the fucking how do the right wing, how do the Blairite successors get into power? Through copy. And now the right wing keep messaging me their feeds. They keep saying, hey, read Long Dead. They can be sent to these little archipelagos of far right wing idiocy, where they just, what I essentially did there was call all the right wingers simple. Sorry about that. That is ironically a very simplistic. Jeremy Corbyn is probably going to win the re-election, but the media and the right wingers within the Labour Party are still going to fucking shit. There is a significant push from the right wing of Britain, from the, you know, the Tories, from the Blairites, of honour before reason, whereas the right wing are more on the sort of reason before honour, you know, pragmatism before a bunch of racist right-wing bastards. People thought that wanting to leave the EU was a racist right-wing bastard kind of thing to want to do. But, you know, clearly you guys are okay with misspeaking because all your fucking right-wing politicians do that. I mean, George W. Bush. I mean, the right wing, okay, he's coming into the country and they will want to defend them. And then you've got the sort of the right wing pool who will see refugees coming into the country, and then you will create a spoiler effect which will
weaken the right-wing parties, you know. And in fact, actually, a vote for Trump is
what Barack Obama did. Right? If you're gonna fucking go in to fucking negotiations with right-wingers, you need to fucking negotiate from a position of rage. And, you know, like,
there are a load of, you know, right-wing people, and it's like, you know, I've had a lot of comments from people.
Like, there are people who are right wing who do kind of genuinely think, you know, a lot of the stuff I say.
Because for good or for ill, I have a platform that the right wing seem to love. So
there's, at a certain point, if the right wingers are not careful, things could get desperate. And that desperation,
I've been quite open about that, but that's because, you know, the right wingers, they don't have the power to block you. They don't. I've gotten a lot of right wingers who watch my stuff, and some of them are good.
And I know so very many of my right wing, my viewers. This is where the whole bullshit about the cis white male comes from, right? This is why the right wing latches onto.
It's like the right wingers are saying, left wingers, you're going on a tirade against. Oh, clearly, there's nothing hypocritical about that, is there, right wingers?
There is this term that the right wing use called safe spaces, and it is always
because in the court of public opinion, the right wingers are already blaming them. In the court of public opinion, apparently I
mainstream right wing parties, because the left wing and the right wing want to destroy right wing party conquers with these different interpretations of left wingism and right wingism. You know, and I suppose if you want to be,
there is certainly an interpretation that the vitriol of the right-wing religious fucking damn the fuckers who disagree.
Actually like it, get there, and the more positive comments from right wingers there are.
like, so when these right wingers started surging, you know, basically the moment I did, you know, preach left wing values, people say, well, thank you, you've convinced me that I am right in my right wing values. But frankly, America's so
the spectrum of alternative movements to the right wing, and the right wing is of course something that I am fundamentally opposed to.
You know what? That's the only way you're gonna make any progress, is by appealing to the right wing. Okay?
And it's funny, like the right wing say, talk to me like, hey, you know, all this altruism is, because here's the thing, guys. If you are a right wing person, you want a coalition with the Conservatives, because the memories of a bad past, but it is not triggering in the sense of, you know, right-wing bastards being triggered because, oh my god, let's trigger one.
well, yeah, you're just you're jealous because I'm rich and you're not. The right wing are fucking stupid. I suppose I can address this here because actually the right wingers won't be coming here. They won't be coming here, so I suppose, yeah, sorry.
At least the man in this story is a right wing conservative.
Also, Black Pigeon speaks. Now,
The right wing seem to like this commentator, this person.
I have a platform that the right wing seem to love. So right wingers, racist, Nazis, lend me your fucking ears as I tell you how your beliefs are full of
Culture is so utterly self-destructive. I mean, it goes back to this bullshit idea of the right-wing conservative fuckwits saying, I have, for some reason, an incredibly right-wing, right-wing, following, right? This, for me, is...
I don't know, maybe we could get Jesse Cox to pretend to be right wing and just be like, oh yeah man, all those immigrants.
see it in all these, right-wing people who go postal and shoot up people and politicians and attack to a body that is trained. Because this is the thing, is that the right wing, there is this idea. Because you see, I'm thinking that whilst so far it has basically been right-wing mentally, is nothing to do with me being a fucking left-winger. You don't think that the right-wingers can be lazy fucking individuals. You are goddamn deaf, dumb and blind if you can't see it. I speak to right-wing people and I say, hey guys, this is happening. What power? And it could be replaced with a genuinely cunty right-winger. Without an election. Because, yay, that's how our fucked up...
This is the folly of the right wing of the Labour Party. Okay? Their entire fucking...
Atheists are saying the people blowing everybody up are the guys in the right. The right-wing Christians are saying that, like, yes, I am the left-wing alternative, and I have totally been saying the entire time that the right-wing are right.
Fucking argument, I get annoyed, right? Because you're the right wing. You are supposed to fucking know better. Got there on a massive fucking mandate, and all the right wing of the Labour Party have been doing, all the fucking Blairites have been doing is something that's the people, the right wingers will cry and screech and say it's not.
I've pissed off 4chan. I have pissed off the right wing. I have pissed off bigots, racists, sexists,
fucking bugs, because they're a bunch of disgusting right-wing Nazi vermin. So they speak in code. They speak in code, and they think there's very few mainstream right-wing third parties, and part of this is that people on the right wing are not wholly evil. I'm not necessarily saying that about the comment. The liberal establishment, we vote out the right-wing douchebags, and we vote in people who give a shit about us, right?
it looked like the government was weak and that there could be a new election. Then the right wing of the Labour Party decided to do a coup, and now Jeremy Corbyn has been deselected.
Do you think that if you had a nice body that you would magically be right-wing? No, bro. No, I don't, bro. Because guess...
Islamic terrorists over, rogue, right-wing fundamentalist terrorists.
We've got your soul. Fuck you. If you want to fucking negotiate with right-wingers, you gotta fucking barnstorm in there saying,
the feat that the left wing have been struggling with. How do you get the right wing to put down their fucking propaganda?
like, there's people who are like, oh my god, I'm scared of you. It's like, yay. I'm the boogeyman of the right wing. I like this. I like that I make this. It's kind of, this is why I'm so pleased the right wing are sharing my stuff, because it's like,
then it is in your favour. Which is, you know, what being right-wing is, you know, especially if you are an MP, because, hey...
And if this video can redirect or give pause for even one of you right-wing fuckers, that if the right wing can be dealt with, Jeremy Corbyn will be able to walk it, because
The right wing make me angry. The right wing make me fucking furious. But the right wing don't scare me. I could bait and bait and bait and bait the right wing, but I don't want to. I want them to forget about me. I want to get bored. Come to me saying, "Aren't guns awesome?" Like, okay, here's another thing, right? The right-wingers who are like, but them Muslims
myself part of are okay. For me, I want to get rid of every last neoliberal fucking right-wing junker going, yes, we need to.
And so when I see UKippers, when I see Tories, when I see the right wing saying, yeah, but don't you just want to be part, right? You can be a conservative. You can be someone who supports, who is a right winger. You could be someone who is a,
and to a certain extent that could just be, you know, right wingers, you know, trying to convince people to join the dark side, as it were. And just decide they're only going to recognise the right wing of the Labour Party as Her Majesty's opposition. You know, the right wing, you know, there is this idea the right wing has, and it's a very simple idea, which is all these socialist policies. We should just go right wing and fuck over everyone. So yeah, basically now is that the right wing Blairites need to fucking go, and that people like Ken Livingstone, who may take to the, you know, MRA right-wing movement, because that would defeat the entire reason why I like that. And the right wing are essentially like the left wing are generally on the sort of, that happen to be, you know, incredibly, you know, authoritarian, right wing, invasive, dangerous. And the right wing love to phrase this as, well, the young are naive, and
people can't understand it. These right-wingers can't understand it, but we need to save money, and when I'm doing...
And they won't appeal to the right wing, right? How the fuck are you gonna appeal to people
running to join ISIS? So that is in a way the same basic idea as, you know, right-wingers in America saying, them dang liberal
that you want to be talking to, the people you want to understand you, the right-wingers, they will go, communist!
You know, I've had right-wing fucking Americans lecture me on how guns are totally good though, man. You
Start being radicalized by the right wing. Start thinking that these people are dangerous. They start thinking that they are a bubble of manicness, of fear, of, you know, what the hell are the right wing gonna do now? I don't know why I went into Shatner speak there. What I'm saying is old news, right? Clearly, there is a consistent output of right-wing bullshit. And on my Facebook page, where I said I'm God because some right-wingers were being stupid on my Facebook page. So has to address the right wing, and we have to learn how to convince them to our point.
that some right wing cuck has written like, you know, 30 pieces. Ironically, it's an attitude that a lot of right wingers in this country have towards the Syrian refugees, saying, send them back. Essentially neurotic worries about being endorsed by the right wing. Well, kind of, partly the reason that I'm making this now is that I have no
up yet. And ultimately, it's fear that the party is right wing, which it isn't.
You libtard, right? You goddamn right wing fuckers say, I say you take the guns from us, you fucking try, right? This is really fucking startling. Like, the only time right wing people give the slightest fucking shit about gay people, conspiracies, right? Yes, the right wing media happen to like a right wing government, Le Choc, right? But that's nothing. Labour, under Ed Miliband, under Ed Balls, under the right-wing establishment of the Labour Party, is the most bloody stupid, pathetic, right-wing, naive fuckers that there are. You're cackled. You work with him to breeze all his right-wing guff through Congress. Of course, it doesn't help if your change candidate is climate change. It's gonna affect us. You know, I know that there are many right-wing people who are very clear of how people on the right wing or the alt-right really think, is to see how they talk amongst each other. Because the right wing are stupid. Because clearly that's the I mean, you gotta up your games. You gotta figure out what next for the right wing when post scarcity happens. When you're someone who belongs on the right wing. Fuck you. I mean, to a certain state as being, you know, the great dream of a right-wing utopia. I mean, it isn't. It's a fucking clusterfuck where everything is king establishment candidate and horrendously right-wing and disgusting, right? But she's the establishment. She would have fucking voted for her, right? She was fucking
Apparently there are fears that the right wing will split and will form some kind of supergroup.
The majority of the world has got a very large amount of incentive to not want the right wing to have other parties. A supposition about the way the world is, you know. The right wingers love to say that it means, well, you see, to be like, well, you know, the right wing are being okay with me. I'm worried, but I am, because this shouldn't be happening. And equally, right, the right wing keep insisting about these things that matter to them. People complain a lot. The right wing complain a lot about champagne socialists themselves. Because here's the thing, guys. The right wing love a good safe space. The right wing always be moral. I will always be against the right wing. I will always be in favour of LGBT.
He is a small C conservative who is quite right wing by our standards. But then again, the Labour Party at the moment is quite right-wing.
We'll eat them, right? If I came on here, you know, like the grossest stereotype of right-wing bullshit, you would all be saying,
something that actually I'm sure a lot of the right-wingers in my audience and in my fan base can appreciate, is that I don't want to be reformist and left-wing, and it can be destructive and right wing, okay? But it's going to be relatively stable.
Is the technological changes that I can see happening around us. The right wing approach is basically to stick their fingers in their ears and go la la. This is a case of the right wing bigoted fuckwit who wants to destroy the world versus the right wing bigoted
preaching to the unconverted. I have right wingers watching my videos. This is amazing.
You know, it's a replacement for right wing fuckers to go insult and stuff, but that doesn't bother me because those are the kind of people that. And so, to a certain extent, you can almost understand how the old right wing, like if you're 50, if you're 60, if you're but in so doing, to the right wingers of the world, well, you're just a fucking communist, so we don't give a shit what you say. You want Soviet. I mean, I just, the right wingers exasperate me. Where anybody who believes in without murder, without certain things, you can basically do whatever you like. You can be as right wing as you like, because if anybody's in danger, we can basically saying, "Yeah, boo, sucks to you, right wingers." You know, we deserve socialism now, and you know it can work now, and we're not goals. You know, it doesn't seem real to me. Whereas for the right wing, I think what's going on in you know, at what point is she going to reveal herself to be, you know, a right wing bastard just trying to get whatever? I fail. The more that my left wing channel becomes popular with the right wing, the more that my left wing channel makes money from the who have decided who essentially do not want the restrictions that the right wing have, and so that's okay. If the Labour Party becomes right wing again, or it is revealed that Jeremy Corbyn is in fact a paedophile,
Go on right along with it, and they're gonna kill democracy too. And it's just the thing is, right? But the right wing have this attitude of supreme.
yeah. Turns out I probably am kind of turning a bit right wing, but I'm remaining to the left on politics. Establishment candidate is like, boo, racism, and you know, the right wing anti-establishment candidate is like, yeah, politics is to have this shitting argument every goddamn time because you're all so right wingers. By the way, there will be an official Alexander Gordon Jahans in the game. You've got to be worried about the fact that the damn right wing, they're gonna have terrorist attacks, you know, which is this absurd.
It wouldn't have happened because the right wingers want more right wing and more right wing and more right wing. And even if you do,
I'm probably going to beat Bernie Sanders, so I'm going to appeal more to the right wing. Oh, it seems I'm under threat from Bernie Sanders. I'm going to appeal more to the left wing. You know,
it's turning on Theresa May because she's doing things that even the right wing people don't like. And it's like, and Theresa May hypocrite, and that's what I'm terrified of. Because I'm not actually terrified of the right wing. The right wing are pathetic. The right
fucking scared. The fact that the right-wing papers are saying, quick, everybody jump onto Jeremy Corbyn, we need to get him elected.
Into this, you can convince, you know, the very right-wing, you know, people who want a small government, who want to pay nothing to...
That's the way the alt-right operate. That's the way the right-wing operate. The right-wing are manipulative little shits. Okay?
There are always going to be homophobes. There are always going to be, you know, right-wing dickheads who have read too much or whatever, and, you know, the answer is that left-wing people, and like you fucking stupid right-wingers, left-wing people understand empathy.
They no right-wing fucker is going to vote for a guy who has mandates. So, clearly, we need some right-wing fucker to lead it. I mean, I think Jeremy...
Fight Collect is where we fit in. So that means, yes, the bigoted right-wing gun nuts are gonna have their own little place where they fucking hate. Less of the utter incompetency and sadism of the right wing. Except this time things are a lot more interesting. Attention to the Democratic nomination, because to a certain extent it doesn't matter what brand of right-wing lunatic is in the Republican Party, if they then have to split their votes between the alt-right and the right-wing, whereas at the moment it's like, well, who do you want to vote for? Perfect straw man argument. You say to your right-wing friends, look at this guy, look at the left wing, look at the people we have to... They might get more supporters, but instead, what do? They do the neoliberal right-wing, they do the neoliberal the left wing. We will make a better future through regulation, and the right wing, we're all fucked. Let's. It honestly fills me with a certain amount of pride that so many of the right wing hate me so very much. It's like, yay! And then you should vote for Donald Trump because he's anti-establishment. But no. All the right wing fuckers who come over here don't pay attention to autistic, have low testosterone, or are women. You know, maybe I don't know, certain right-wing politicians who are, you know, describes exactly the establishment right-wing opposition to Jeremy Corbyn. Political correctness is about... This is a pattern that I think could play out for the right wing in America, and I
America left wing, or at least centre wing, and not full on far right wing. Let's make it a world.
Is that the right wing party can be converted from within, can have flying Zarquan. Honestly, all the right-wing Labour Party seem to do in order to try and win elections is say... Now, governments and more importantly right-wing media empires started asking questions of the Pax Singularis. It would be...
Since Labour aren't conservative and UKIP are right-wing racist dicks, I understand the concern that, you know, despite how abhorrent the right wing's political policies and ideologies are, you know, an ideological campaign of what? And kind of, I find it very funny that the right wing are like, yes, you fine of the right wing. The right wing are pathetic. The right wing make me angry. The right wing make me fucking... If we're gonna get proper socialism, then it's entirely possible that, yeah, the right wing members within his own party will kick him out, who are fit to work in the jobs that are available. The right wingers, with their whole fucking up the economy, just work. What we essentially witnessed was right-wing xenophobia and fascism taken to the Conservatives, because they are not just right-wing. They are not just conservative. They are not just willing to fuck over other people. What is there within capitalist ideology, within right-wing ideology, that says that we shouldn't take advantage? Right-wingers will fucking read The Guardian now, because compared to the fucking right-wingers, it might actually teach them some fucking common... There's no coup, but there doesn't need to be a coup, because the right-wingers within the party have restructured everything to the point where... And I know that I've got a lot of very right-wing Donald Trump supporters who are watching me say this.
I am someone who is very critical of the right wing in Britain and America who are like, no, close the borders, no. But, you know, we're best, and fuck you. Right wing Labour for the win. I present 1 minute of ranting against the right. So, you right-wing bunch of bigoted fuckwits, you fall.
Also because for some reason I am weirdly popular with the right wing, and so of course they all dislike my videos. It's like, hey, I'm getting among our left-wing pals, and because we are instantly blocking the right wing, and so therefore we don't have an angle on what is happening among. Whereas the right wing tend to be pragmatic fuckers who care first and foremost about Brexit. We need to not lose the right wing of the party who really want to leave this. We need to make sure that.
And yes, again, I'm saying that to piss the right wingers off. So, I like capitalism. I like regulated capitalism, but it does need to be fixed.
If they get in, then of course they are the right-wing party. So the one fucking issue that they
Global economy. But there isn't. Indeed, it seems, you know, that the right wing is all about reducing the regulations. And it's working, and I think that's a good thing. And so, you know, right-wingers are very confident. And that's Theresa May. That's the Tories. That's the right wing, and that's the alt-right. Right person, and I am not going to be a right-wing person. I am left-wing. The left-wing may not like me being left-wing, but I am left-wing. But no, that I am not making these videos for a right-wing audience. The alt-right, for some reason, seems to fucking love what I...
Fox News and the bigoted right wing use to basically distance themselves from conservatives that they don't feel are.
He was God among men, called God Bless Our Gracious Meme, and he sent a load of right-wing bastards to my fan page to
wing politics and left-wing opinions to the right-wing masses, because they like to watch me and go, he's weird, he's fucking weird. Democratic government, they still have to live with their fucking right-wing neoliberal ass government that is willing to create.
I want you to do it on my doorstep in case I have anybody on my channel who isn't a right-wing fucker, right? You know, I am incredibly pleased that I am actually left-wing for a minute. Maybe it is asking too much of right-wingers to actually have some fucking... 84 is sort of the right-wing dystopia of we will smash your faces and we will show everybody's got goddamn guns, especially because this is an extreme right-wing church where they're like, yes, we will all bring guns to church. More right-wing and more right-wing and more right-wing. And even if you do get Tory light in such a way that people vote for it, hated narrative reinforced and reinforced and reinforced, and the right wing get this incredibly simplistic narrative reinforced and reinforced and reinforced. That kind of shit requires thought. And the right wingers don't have any thought. Time when, you know, God Bless Our Gracious Meme is sending, you know, right-wing trolls into my Facebook page, and why I have to create the Facebook fan page.
You know, they're hovering around 690 because, you know, a couple of right-wingers will join, and then I'll say, yeah, you know, sexists who believe that you need to take on a right-wing stance because we're in a right-wing country, and if you are genuinely someone whose political beliefs are of the right wing, and you are someone who thinks that social
position, the Labour leadership, or if he wins it and the right wing decide to undermine him.
On Facebook groups where the right wingers have slowly inveigled themselves in because, hey, free speech, man, you know, you're a debating group.
The president has just said, has just gone, oh look, foreigners, and of course the right wing has gone, foreigners, and the left. And so, kind of to conclude, because of this, right wingers just see the world would be better.
The House of Lords is supposed to be that, but the right wing have been stacking the House of Lords in their favour for, you know. Okay, I'm going to try this now. Okay, right wingers, I am terrified of which means that I find it quite hilarious that right wing supporters, which Trump supporters are, right? That Trump that's going on here, right? On the one hand, we do have a mainstream media that is very right wing, that is constantly deriding the left and constantly saying, "Oh my God, the shock! I am such a degenerate." God damn, you bloody Christian right wing who think that masturbation is a sin. You could end up having the party of the right wingers and the party of the far right, or the party of the alt right. Losing election after election after election, how will we appeal to the right wing? Well, we'll sell our souls to the right wing and be...
I am now in the unique position of preaching to the unconverted. I am preaching left-wing values to the right wing. And I know,
you know, filter bubble of sort of, you know, vaguely left-wing people who also feel right-wing at heart and are at the same time long dead philosophers. Hey, have you watched this right-wing person? Hey, subscribe to this podcast. And it's like, no, I've got me without bothering to do the research. But evidently, the right-wing, the alt-right, are people with a lot of time on their hands. And ideological contagion, this right-wing virus, for as long as I can, in the only way I can, and that is through these YouTube videos. And you will have to be fucking blind if you think only the right wing will have them. Attack the right wing already are basically being driven to acts of terrorism against the British. I was not born evil. I was not a right winger. I was not a loony lefty. I bought the Beano and played Pokemon on the GameCube, just like... No. I don't matter. There are other people. The right wing, alt-right, fucking racist plague, and people believe it. The right wingers believe it because the right wing of society like to twist terms. They like to do this a lot. Currently, Her Majesty's opposition is being destroyed from within by the right wing. Currently, Her Majesty's...
the Conservatives fucking wish they could. And you provide this as an opposition, as a right-wing opposition to the Conservatives.
Perspective! Yay for fucking perspective. Mind you, the right wing tend to be rather thick when we celebrated when Tony Blair got elected. Like, here's a right wing person promising to fuck us over as hard as Thatcher, but I think one of the white right wingers in America almost started to commenters, but you know, people on the right wing, people on the far right, the alt right, they are not.
Who is saying that Planned Parenthood isn't so bad? He's a prominent right wing guy who is saying that. Wow,
I feel like I have essentially made a story in which, you know, the right wing are heroes, you know.
Well, libertarianism is something that can happen on the left wing or the right wing, but either way,
Benefits because of you guys. All I would just say now is that, you know, if there are any right wingers who are like, oh, you just want to go on benefits, like, you quick purge them. And like, I basically said, yeah, if you're a right winger and you kick up a fuss and you're a dick,
we say, oh yes, the left wing and the right wing. And we've all sort of got slightly different ideas of what the left wing and the right wing. Extraordinary rendition, and we're going to assassinate anybody who is extremely right wing and would like to do terrorist atrocities against So you're going to get third party right wing candidates stepping up so that they are an alternative third party. And they're, you know, that's kind of the perspective that, you know, right wing people have, which is that, you know, humans are corrupt.
So every fucking party in the world, no matter how fucking right wing, is gonna end up caving to this movement for change at a certain point.
Some help from the state to not die. And right wingers will clearly and plainly say, no, but you must protect the wealth protector.
City for violent nutbaggery is very definitely on the right wing side. So no, war is a very fucking bad idea. Civil war, very fucking bad idea. We've got clear fucking evidence and people are fucking seeing that. And the right wing, the alt-right go, the black people are so fucking
That for some reason, the right wing have decided it's a bloody good idea to share
as an opportunity to get their right wing ideals across. But they're also very scared that it will let the left wing get their ideals. To the racists, then you risk the right wing becoming the party of the racists, which is a problem.
By that point, the game would have just said, okay, and now the right wing is going to get really angry and really angry and really angry, and then they're going to overthrow you. Do a better job. And I'm not saying that I am some kind of right wing, you know, the okay. So a lot of people, well, a lot of right wing cucks who come to my channel,
The mainstream media that keeps the left tied to what the right wing is doing. So to destroy that, to destroy the neoliberalism,
if the right wingers tried to leave essays critiquing me in depth, I would delete them. And I'm saying
is the right wing love a good safe space. The right wing abso-fucking-lutely love it. The alt-right love a fucking... But there are certain right-wing commenters on the sort of futuristic concept who
you guys are the fucking brown shirts. You guys are the goddamn extreme right wing who would cause a civil war in your own country. People lie! Right wingers fucking lie! He ain't gonna build your fucking wall. I am fucking open and honest about the fact that I purge people, that I purge the right wingers, the fact that my channel is entirely possible that beneath this visage lies some, you know, right wing woman who is, you know, is that the powerful people say, oh yay, free money, I will have all of it. But you know, the right wingers are stupid. They just go, well, of course.
chance that a bomb could go off. And, I mean, this never happens. But the right wing love to talk. Say you know, was
you're talking to a very right wing American audience. And so I thought I would lay some truth bombs on you. Is because I really, really don't like the right wing. This is a reminder of there was a political group that I was a member of that got infected by right-wing fuckers, and we split off.
And everybody is scared. All of the right wingers are scared, and they can't fathom it. They can't explain it. But my
that I care about, you know, which is the left wing. I don't care if the right wing hates me and tells me to kill myself, because should stop giving in to leftist, you know, SJW propaganda, and you should embrace right-wing misogynist propaganda, because you'll really
have it, because all of these people who are like, we have the right wingers have this system whereby they are simultaneously like the point wing and be slightly better than the right wing. Woo, Tony Blair. And then he invaded Iraq.
and I can see, therefore, how the right wingers who are benefiting from this system can.
In other words, the perfect right-wing terrorist cells. Because you see, a right-wing...
But frankly, America's so fucking right-wing that just the chance that my videos can
happen to give examples of how right-wingers speak, they fucking take that out of context to represent me.
But what got me was just this right-wing religious nutball screaming at a survivor.
You were seen to post any kind of comment on this video because there's a fucking witch hunt going on. The right-wingers leading the Labour
Party, and you know what? They've broken their pledges, because that's what every right-wing party does.